Hello, this is Rakesh Rao from Coordinate Systems. In the last quantity takeoff video, we showed you how you can create tiles and place them on a rectangular or other polygonal area and create quantities out of it. In this example, we are going to show you a slightly different workflow. We are going to place a single tile and then offset it and create multiple tiles and then adjust the sizes and scale factors. This workflow is suited for creating formwork where you have a rectangular size and you place it along a wall or a floor. So we go to CADPower BOQ Tools and we click on Place Tiles or XY Panels. The formwork block that you create needs to be defined as an AutoCAD block, which is how the tile placement routines work. So I'm going to name the block as formwork. Now you can also specify the description for this tile. So I'm going to say this is a steel formwork. The horizontal dimension of the formwork is, let us say, 2500, and the vertical dimension is 500. The size and description attributes are already defaulted to size and desks. We leave it as it is. Now to place the tiles, we have different options like XY dimension, corner picks, or fill a polygon. So we're going to choose XY dimensions, which means it's going to place a tile with exactly this size, 2500 by 500. You say OK. Do you want to make the description attribute invisible? No. Size attribute? No. Pick insertion point of tile. I'm going to choose this endpoint here. So it's already placed one block here, which is a steel formwork of size 2500 by 500. Now you can see that this is exactly at the end of this wall. Now if that's okay with you, you can leave it like that, or if you want, you can always move it by some distance and create a small gap at the end. So let us say I want a gap of 50. Okay, so this is the wall. A2 is the wall that I want to cover with formwork, and this is the first formwork that I have placed. Now the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the offset tile command and I'm going to offset this on either sides. So I choose this. Do you want to select the entire row? I say no, this is not applicable here. Side to offset is this side. So you can see it has been offsetted, and you can see there is a gap that it has created already. Now this gap is defined here. So that is the gap between tiles, or in the running X direction, and there's again gap between tiles across rows in the Y direction. So both are specified as 10 and 10. So based on that, you have a gap of 10 between the two formwork tiles. So in a similar manner, I'm going to create the other blocks. So I'm going to offset this, and offset this. Okay, so I've created 5 blocks. Now obviously this one is not the correct size, so we can come back here to blocks, block related, interactive XY scale editor. This is similar to what we have done in the earlier video as well. So I click on this. Size attribute to update is size. Interactively edit X, yes, and the edit factor. So each time I want to reduce it by 50 and see how it looks. Okay, so that is probably how it should be. So I've got one row in place now. So these are the formworks for one row. So now I'm going to go again to the offset tool, select this. Do you want to select the entire row? I say yes. Now the drag line is here, which is not correct, so I'm going to say S for swap. So you can see the drag line has jumped here. Now I'm going to select the entire block, and side to offset, similarly we do the same thing again, swap. So once you get an idea of the prompts, it's quite easy to manipulate this. Okay, so we have created the formwork for the entire wall. Now as you can see, again there needs to be some editing for the Y direction. So we go back here to blocks, block related, interactive X, and I want to edit it by 25 each time, so minus 25. Okay, so that looks fine to me, so I say done, and the same thing here, 375, and then we edit the same across. Okay, so using the block edit tools, I have edited the formwork blocks so that they are now of the correct dimensions and they fill the entire wall that we need to cover. So now the next step is similar to what it was in the previous example. We go to count tiles, and this is the INI file that I already have here, so let me see if it looks fine. No, it doesn't, because the INI file has the block name mentioned as tile 10, which was what was used earlier for the automatic placement. So in this case, as you can see, we have used a block called formwork, so we need to edit the block names here and make it as tile 10. That's pretty easy. You can edit the existing block names or you can create new ones, both are fine. So in this case, let us say I take these three tiles and then I'm going to say replace. So replace tile 10 by formwork. So just those three have got replaced with the name formwork. Now the dimensions need to be set. Our standard dimension, so I'm going to save this. Let me check what our standard dimension is. So 2500 by 500 is a standard dimension. We have another dimension called 1850 by 500 and 2500 by 375 and 1850 by 350. So the best way to enter the dimensions is to first create the count and then edit it later. So let us use formwork as the block. Say OK. Select this. So this is going to do a count now. So if you noticed at the end, it said that the 4 sizes that we used, they don't have an entry in the INI file, and therefore a description and a 0 cost was added to the INI file. Now you can look at it here. So that's the size, that's a quantity, that's a unit cost, unit area, total area. This is similar to what we did earlier in the automatic placement. Obviously we have not added any additional resources here, so that can be done as well. There's a description. So now to complete this example, we need to put some meaningful cost and weight so that you can get the correct values. So we go back here to count tiles, we go to edit, we go here. So 2000 by 500, this is standard and the cost is 1500. We say update. This is, let's call this as custom 1. So let's call 1850 by 500 as custom 1 and the price is 1200. So update. 1850 by 375, let's call that as custom 2 and the size and the cost is 2000. 2500 by 375, let's call it as custom 3 and the price is 1450. Say update. OK. You have to press save. When you have made a change, you must save it to the disk and say cancel. We come back here, we select this. The table already exists. Do you want to delete? I say yes, delete it, create a new one. So you can see now the sizes, the quantities, the unit cost, the total cost, unit area, total area, unit volume, total volume, unit weight, total weight, everything is in place. Now you might wonder why the volume and weight are 0. That's because the weight is 0 because the volume is 0 and the volume is 0 because we have not specified this as a 3D element. So the formwork is normally just a planar object which covers an area, so we take it as a 2D element. But if you want to, you can always put a 3D dimension to it, a depth factor to it, and you can get the weight and volume as well. So this is how the quantity takeoff tool tile placement tool of CADPower can be used to create formwork estimation, to create a number of formwork required to fill a particular piece of wall or floor. The quantity takeoff tools work in CADPower in BricsCAD also, and it's identical to how it works in AutoCAD in exactly the same manner. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and we do realize that quantity takeoffs and formwork design differs from company to company, from country to country, and from one situation to another. So if you have any special requirements that is not covered by this command, please do let us know. We are very keen to hear from you and make improvements to our product to make it work exactly the way you want to. Thank you. Bye bye.